channel, your trusted source for latest updates across South Sudan and beyond. Today, we bring you important updates coming from South Sudan, including major political change, court development, United Nations operation, and tragic road accident. In today's report, we'll cover four major stories. First, the commissioner of Akobo County has officially left the opposition SPLM and joined the ruling SPLM party. Second, we'll talk about the legal team of Dr. Machar has raised serious question in court over digital evidence linked to a WhatsApp group chat. Third, the United Nations has announced plan to close its temporary base in Akobo in the coming week. And finally, we'll talk about, we report on a tragic incident in Shobet County where 3 people lost their life in separate road accident during the Easter holiday. Before we move on, please, I would like you to help the channel by subscribing, turn on the notification bell, so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. Let's begin our report with Akobo Commissioner John SPLM. The Commissioner of Akobo County has officially announced that he is leaving the opposition Sudan People Liberation Movement in a position known as SPLM. He has now joined the ruling Sudan People Liberation Movement of SPLM. This announcement was made on Wednesday through an official statement released by his office. According to the commissioner, his decision was made because he wanted to help bring peace to the area. He explained that the situation in Akobo has become difficult and unstable. Because of this, he believes it is necessary to choose a different political direction. In his statement, Queen Makwach said that during peaceful time, he had never thought about leaving SPLM. However, because of the current crisis, he now feels that a change is necessary. He said the people of Akobo are suffering and need peace, security, and development. He also spoke about the urgent need for better services. These include health care, school, and other important public services. According to him, long political disagreement have slowed down development in the county. He also mentioned internal disagreement inside SPLM-IO. He said lack of support and political differences also played a role in his decision. Another serious concern raised by the commissioner was the destruction and looting that recently took place. He said health facilities and humanitarian center were damaged. This has made the suffering of civilians even worse. He now said he is ready to work with the SPLM government to support peace, unity, and development. He added that people of Akobo deserve to live in peace without violence and political division. This development comes after heavy fighting in the area. Last month, Akobo County, which lies near the Ethiopian border, was taken over by the South Sudan People Defense Force, known as SSPDF. This was a major event because it was the first time since 2013 that the government forces captured the area from SPLM-IO. Well, the fighting forced many residents to run for safety. Some crossed into Ethiopia as refugees. Humanitarian workers were also evacuated because of security concern. This is not the first time Commissioner Queen Makwach has faced political change. Earlier this year, on January 16, he was removed from office by the acting leadership of SPLM-IO. Another official by the name John Uyalul was appointed to replace him. At first, Queen Makwach refused to leave office, but after mediation by local leader, he stepped down on January 22nd. Later, after the government force took control of Akobo in March The government reappointed him as the legitimate commissioner. This move replaced Wiyual, who still remained loyal to SPLM-IO leadership. One important issue remained unclear. Under the 2018 peace agreement, the position of Akobo commissioner was allocated to SPLM-IO. This means there may still be legal and political questions about whether he can continue in the role after joining SPLM. This story is likely to have major political consequences in the day ahead. Let's look at Dr. Machar lawyer challenge WhatsApp evidence. Now let us move to Juba, where an important court case continues. Lawyer representing suspended first Vice President Dr. Machar and 7 other accused persons have challenged digital evidence presented in court. The issue center around alleged WhatsApp message group during the 64 court session. A Machar lawyer, Anis Tombe Agostino, questioned a digital forensic expert. The lawyer raised concern about whether the messages were authentic and whether they could be directly linked to one of the accused, Gadwi Lampoj. According to the prosecution, a message found in WhatsApp group suggested that reinforcements were requested to target government troops in Nasser County. However, the forensic expert admitted something very important. He said that the message was not directly sent by Gadwi Lam himself. Instead, it was found inside a WhatsApp group where Gadwi Lam was one of the participants. This became a key point in the court hearing. The defense lawyer then asked the expert to identify all members of the group. The expert replied that many of the numbers were not saved with name in the phone. Because of this, he could not clearly identify most participants. This raised further questions about the strength of the evidence. The lawyer also asked whether there was direct communication between Gadwi Lam and another individual named Torgiletuan. The experts say no such direct communication could be confirmed. Another key issue was whether a message that referred to your people could be directly connected to Gadwi Lam. The experts say the message was simply extracted from the group chat. He explained that it was addressed to all members in the group. This means all participants received the message at the same time. The judge, Ms. Alala Deng, later adjourned the court session. The case will continue on Friday, April 10, 2026. Dr. Machar, who is 73-year-old, remains under house arrest. The 7 others are being held in National Security Service facility in Juba. The charges are very serious. They include murder, conspiracy, terrorism, treason, destruction of public property, and crime against humanity. According to prosecutor, force linked to the opposition, SPLM-IO worked together with the Norway Army militia attacked the Nasser military base in March 2025. They alleged that 257 government soldiers were killed. They also say military equipment with around 5.8 or $58 million was destroyed or taken. This remains one of the most closely watched legal cases in the country. Let's move on. United Nations to close Akobo base. In another major development of the United Nations mission in South Sudan, known as UNMISS, has announced plan to close its temporary operating base in Akobo. This was confirmed on Wednesday by Francisca Moll, the UNMISS Chief of Communication and Public Information. According to her, the closure will happen in the coming week. She explained that the closure had originally been planned for December 2025. However, it was delayed because of worsening insecurity in the area. A peacekeeper remained there to support affected communities. The main reason for closure is financial. The United Nations is currently facing a serious financial crisis. Because of this, UNMISS must reduce its budget by 15% within 6 months. This means an effective cut of up to 30%. As part of this budget cut, the mission has already reduced staff and downsized several field of office. Some peacekeepers have also been sent back to their home countries. Civilian staff number have also been reduced. Operational spending has been cut as well. Despite the closure, UNMISS said it will continue supporting peace and stability. This includes protecting civilians and helping humanitarian agencies deliver aid safely. They have to deliver the aid safely because of the insecurity that still exists within the area. Other activities will include working with government authorities, strengthening community policing, improving early warning system, and supporting peace-building effort. Last month, government forces reportedly ordered a United Nations staff and aid worker to leave Akobo within 72 hours. This happened during renewed fighting, despite the UN staff remain in the area to protect civilians. High-level UN delegation recently visited Akobo and met local officials, including the governor of Jonglei State. The governor said the closure of the base does not mean UNMISS is completely leaving the area. He stressed that United Nations support will continue. This comes at a difficult time for Akobo after recent fighting displaced many families. Our final report will be a heartbreaking report. 3 people killed in road accident. Let's turn to tragic news from Changfied County in Lake State. According to this report, 3 people lost their life in 2 separate road accidents during the Easter holiday. According to traffic police, the first accident happened on Friday. It occurred on the main road between Malo Pech Payam, Tony South. 1 person died in that crash. The second accident happened on Sunday. It took place between Mayas Payam and Changfied Town, according to this report. 2 motorcycle passengers lost their life. Traffic police say bus driver involved in the accident have been arrested. Investigations are now ongoing. Local authorities said speeding and poor road conditions were the main causes. The roads in the area are said to have many potholes and dangerous sections. Officials are now calling on drivers to slow down and follow traffic rules. Passengers have also been urged to remind drivers to drive carefully. Authorities expressed sympathy to the families of the victims. This tragedy is a painful reminder of the importance of road safety. That's all for today. Major news update from South Sudan. Please let us know your thought in the comment section below. Do you think the political change in Akobo will bring peace? What do you think about the court case and the UN closure? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more breaking news updates.